Hey everyone, welcome to Lovely J Podcast. It's yours truly, Miss Coco, and y'all, I'm in the mix of making some pepper steak sliders, and I'm already upset about it, y'all, cause I feel like my stove cooked too fast. So my first batch, I don't like kind of how they came out, but I will. I'm gonna slow down the oven for the next batch. But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all just how I did them. Let me get this out there for everybody to see. But I'm gonna tell y'all, this was really easy. I actually just, y'all know the steakums that you can just buy in the store? Okay, so that, I just added some butter and a little leftover hamburger grease to a pan, sauteed it along with some onions and some peppers. I'm reheating it just a little bit so that I already cooked some. I'm just reheating it for my sake. And then I added the cheese and my seasonings. Whatever seasoning you want to have in it, you can have in it. Now, I did add Italian seasoning and garlic powder, onion powder, and chili powder. That was it. Because I feel like the butter is going to give it enough flavor. Anyways, y'all, I got another round of them to make. And then, after I make those, what am I going to do next? After I make those, I'm going to put some chicken wings in the oven. How I'm going to do those is I'm going to just regular onion powder, garlic powder. I'm going to add some honey mustard to these wings this time. I've never done that before. This would be my first time cooking with the mustard. But somebody asked me, do I cook with mustard? So let me tell you, the only time I use mustard when I'm cooking has never been for frying. But it has been for dipping my chitlins or whatever I want in them. I love fried chitlins dipped in mustard. I don't need nothing else, just the mustard, y'all. That's it. So if you ever see me cheesing hard, it's because I didn't got some of the chitlins. But I don't eat chitlins like I used to. I don't know. A lot of people still eat a lot of them, but honey child, I tell you, just a spoonful has to do me. Because I don't want to be sick. Because that's one of the foods, I don't know why, it just makes me, I love it, but my stomach don't like me having it, so therefore I don't have it. So let me tell you how I do, getting ready to make this next batch of sliders. I already cut them open, and for me, I just use my griller pan, because it's a lot easier to cook on. I just cut them in a row, and then all I got to do is just stick them there. Put them all together, and I'm doing it as I'm talking to y'all, by the way, so if you hear the little hustling and slow breathing, it's because I'm at work, okay? I'm doing something. So my little grill pan, if you have brought the pots and pans from Walmart, that red set, you know the set that you see in everybody's videos all the time, they got that red set. These here are, it comes with a griller, and that's what I have. I have the griller. So what I am doing is lightly buttering the bottom of it. Hopefully it's going to taste real good. I feel like I already ate some just sitting here, you know. I don't be doing cheese like that, but you know, other people like cheese, and I have to give the peoples what they want. So if they want cheese, they can have cheese. I love cheese too, but sometimes it get to my stomach, and I be like, oh, why'd I do that? Greedy butt, just greedy. Okay, so once I do that, I go through, once I get the butter on there, I go through and I do a layer of this cheese. Now, I would add some garlic to this, but I don't know, honey. I just don't know. All right, let's add some more cheese in here. And it's kind of just like packing it. If you leave it long ways like a hot dog, it'll be easier to do it than to do each one individually. So try to keep them together. I just realized these cheeses are two different sizes. Oh well, still gonna get 8. Am I right about it? Still gonna get 8. Somebody say it's still gonna get 8. Okay, y'all, I should have put this as a topic, but it just really hit me. Have y'all ever just sat and thought, and I'm not trying to be racist or anything, and I'm not trying to be, just thinking about one set of race, but y'all know I'm a black woman, and I was just wondering, is anybody else noticing a change in their hair? And I'm talking about, this ain't like it's not like a menopausal change. This is more of, you just notice that things aren't looking the way that they used to look. Like your hair may be, like you just got suspicions, okay? Can I be like that? Can I just say that I have suspicions that my hair is not being done the way it's supposed to do. And I have suspicions that because, and I'm going to tell you why I say this, I feel like black women are spending more money on wigs because we have been trained not to like our hair. That's what I think. And that's what I'm kind of getting at right now. Now, all these women went natural. Okay, cool. They went natural. And at the same time, as soon as they went natural, a lot of women still continued to wear wigs, which is, I know we be wanting something different, but sometimes did it ever just occur to you that it was just a brainwashing not to like who you are, not to like what you have? I mean, seriously, the older people back in the day, they was like, if your hair went a certain way for black women, then we couldn't like ourselves the way we was. We had to like ourselves the way people perceived us. That's how we had to like ourselves, and still do to this day. That's how we had to like ourselves. And I just was thinking when I looked at my hair, and I almost started crying because I had a ponytail the other day, a real ponytail in my hair. And I woke up today and my ponytail was cut off. And it just makes me wonder, do other women go through such harassment like that where people would actually come and cut your hair off? Now, I know that sounds crazy and it sounds a little far-fetched, but in today's society, y'all gotta look. You gotta look. You gotta really pay attention. And some of you are part of the problem thinking you're solving something, but you're really part of the problem joining into these community watches. These community watch programs are not what they used to be back in the day when we had sheriffs that really would come out to your house and talk with the family and see what was going on. Now we got sheriffs that don't care. They just want to make it home to their family, but they don't care if you make it home to yours. And they don't care once you get there if you're safe or not. That's what we're dealing with. And I was thinking, I see so many women that are missing hair like mine, and it's not alopecia. It's not alopecia hair, so don't go there. It's not that. But what if some of the women who have been missing hair, what if the reason why these women are missing hair is because somebody is doing that to them? That's a cruel thing to do. But when I tell you, it's a possibility of it. I hope these actually taste like pepper steak, y'all. We're going to continue this conversation after I put this into the oven. Oh, this is hot. After these cook, I will be putting the chicken wings. Actually, I kind of wonder if I can fit these chicken wings all in this pan right here. Sister gave me a big skillet. And I'm thinking it's going to work. I'm finna see. We ain't leaving that topping alone, y'all. We're going back to it. Ooh, we're going back to it, y'all. Let me get over here and set myself down. See, unfortunately, people are stuck on traditional racism and hate, which means they only know the partial truth of racism and hate towards Black America, towards Black people, period. And back in the day, we know that white people used to use Black women's hair and Black men's hair. They used to make pillows and all kind of stuff out of Black people's hair. Not necessarily sure exactly how they used a lot of the hair, but I do know a lot of the hair was used back in those days. And yeah, I see what she's talking about. We're gonna try to do something about that. Y'all, I am finna dress these wings up now. But yeah, back in the day, a lot of our hair was used without our permission. We didn't want our hair cut. We liked our hair the way we was. Anything that we found, y'all, this is mustard you hear. But it seems like anything that we found ourselves loving back in the day, it would get taken away from us. Or either they would make it so that we wouldn't like it, or so that it wasn't enjoyable and pleasurable. And what I'm saying here today is, isn't it possible that that's the same thing that's going on today? Is that racism is so much alive that Black people have actually joined in it. We got more Uncle Toms out here than you realize. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. We got so many Uncle Toms out here. And it's women and it's men. And it's them that want to get ahead only to look at themselves, and they look just as worse as their targets. If not worse. Y'all look worse than me. They getting y'all too, huh? But yeah, I looked at my hair. I said, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to complain about it or anything. And it hurt my feelings a little because it was the fact that my granddaughters didn't understand the nature of it. See, I didn't realize my ponytail was cut off until my granddaughter started laughing about it. And she was like, Grandma, look at your hair. Look at your hair. And then finally when I looked, I was like, oh my God. I had no idea that my ponytail had been cut off. And to them, it was a joke to them because they didn't know any better. And that's how I feel like some of the people that are around me, they don't know any better. Because if they did know some better, they would not be sitting around, bragging about the evil that these people are doing. Because that's what it is. It's an act of evil. They wouldn't be bragging about this, about a woman getting her hair cut off, or they sneaking in somebody's house to cut their hair off. And I don't understand what's so hard about people believing that. What it is people know that it's true. They know that it's truth to it. But the thing is, because they part of it, they want to feel part of something, and they want to be something. Oh, God, I wasted that water on me. That's why they denied or trying to make me seem like I'm crazy. Y'all, I gotta wipe this pan down. I'm sorry for the noise. Sorry for the noise, but as soon as we get these chicken wings into this pan, I will not make it no more. Okay, so those are ready. Let's see. I'm gonna need some more gloves. But yeah, I looked at my hair and I said, dang. And you know, I heard somebody brag one time. They were bragging on how a person went in somebody's house. Before this happened to me now. This was way before what I started going on. What I started going through. This was like about 3 years ago. If I was going through things back then, I didn't really know it then. But, and I had all my hair then. But I did notice that I would lose a large amount of hair. And I thought it was vitamin D levels low. That's what I would think. But the thing is, the hair I was losing was never to be found. Now, hair is going to start showing up now, but of course, because I mentioned it. But to be honest, it was never found. Like, if I'm really, like, losing it like that, wouldn't it be on my pillow or something? And, nope, not there. Jamal Bryant said black women spending so many millions of dollars buying hair. That's because we being made to hate ourselves. We being made to not like how we look in the mirror, not like how we talk. And every time I see a black person that just tries to act outside of how they really are, I look and say, dang, you really lost. And they got the nerve to talk about me? Come on, kids. No, that's not it. What it is we've been taught that if you talk a certain way, if you speak the language, then you're part of them. But the truth is, you're not part of them. I don't care if you got kids by them. You're not part of them. Might as well hang that up. That's just not simply possible. We can love everybody, but the truth is, if you black, you black. I don't care if you sound whatever you want to sound. And I ain't trying to sound nasty about this thing, but, you know, some people are born to sound certain ways, and they do. And, you know, some people speak with accents. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who are imposturating their way through life and thinking that just because you may have a couple friends that are outside of your race, that you are higher or mightier than anybody else. And these women, they'll go buy these wigs, and I'm not kidding y'all, and y'all know I'm not lying, and it changes up their whole personality. Why can't you feel good about yourself before you put a wig on? I mean, I'm just serious. And I understand how the change happens because, see, I get like that too. That's why I'm talking about it, because I notice that when I put on a wig, I start feeling different. I start feeling better about myself. And I question myself too. Why can't you be happy before you put on the wig? And here's the answer why I can't be happy before the wig comes on. Because, see, with the wig, I can fake how I want to be and who I want to portray myself as. It's my disguise. But if I take the wig off, that means I got to really see me. I got to really see my hair. Got to really see, if you know, the looks and texture of my hair. I got to see my troubles. Because, see, the thing about a woman, and it don't matter what color the woman is, but her glory is on her head, and that's her covering. And when somebody messes with your covering like that, it does throw you off. And because it does throw you off, that's why I was sitting here like, you know, how many, y'all, hold that thought. Hold that thought, y'all. Because these is not going to overcook on me. Woo, child. Got to them just in time. That's right. They're not going to overcook on me. Not this time. Y'all, I got to put these chicken wings in. I got 2 pans of them. Y'all know when I start doing this cooking part, you know, I have to move and then talk once I finish. I'm cooking honey mustard chicken wings. We'll get all back to it in just a minute. Whew, y'all. I don't know what they be putting in my kitchen, but every time I come to this corner of my kitchen, it gets hard to breathe. And I start having chest pains in this corner. Every time. Alright. So I'm going to put this in. I got both pans of chicken in the oven. And guess who gets to sit down? Okay, y'all, I'm here. Now, I haven't really looked up anything on what I'm talking about. I haven't researched anything about black women's hair. I'm just going off of what I know, what I see. Goodness. Every time I sit over there, it hurts, y'all. I don't know what it is over there. Every time. It hurts my chest. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the socket. Because there is a socket over there. Give me a second, y'all. I know I didn't walk far, but I'm telling you I'm winded from being over there. Okay, let's go, let's go. Winded or not, y'all didn't come to hear me breathe and complain about it. Because everybody knows I already have, you know, what I got. And, you know, God is my healer. So let me say I am here. All right. So my thing is this right here. Women of color, we have been taught not to like our hair. And if you find one that will not say nothing negative about her hair, you will be very, like, that's very rare. To find someone who's not going to say nothing negative about their hair. Y'all, I'm going to put these wings on for 1 hour. So they should be done about 8:48. Yeah, you're not going to find hardly anyone. And if you do, you know, it's very rare. Because every time I'm around black women, you know, they either talking about how they got their wigs and they starting to complain about them too. So nothing is going to be satisfying until you learn how to just like yourself like you are. But as I was saying, it hurt my heart so bad that my granddaughter really sat there and was laughing at the fact that I had this little ponytail. And I was like, do you not I said, you don't understand what this means. This means that someone came in my house unwanted, unannounced, and cut my ponytail off. And I mean, it was just a little ponytail sitting up there. Like one side had the length and the other side and middle had nothing. Barely was hanging on. And the whole back of my hair was cut off. Or however they did it. However they did it, the back of my hair is gone. I don't have no length on one side. One side is cut really short and the other side just has a piece of a length. It's just a little piece, and I mean a very small piece. And these people have no right to come up in my house and touch me and do this. While Montgomery County Sheriff Department sit up on their high and mighty selves, and they won't even take a report about this. But yet, nobody has found me to be crazy. Do y'all not realize that? That there is no therapist out here that can say that I'm delusional. They cannot say that this is not happening to me, and they can't say that it is happening to me. You know, it's like they in a tough place because they trying to play along with the program, and I'm in a tough place because I ain't trying to play with y'all. I'm out here just telling you my story, what's happening to me, and I'm looking at all these other black women. I have seen other black women in my family whose hair is doing the same thing. This is a group retaliation thing. I don't think this thing is just happening to me. Because when I look at some of my other family members' hair, I'm like, dog, That person there used to have thick, long hair. That person there used to have long hair. Ooh, y'all, I'm getting hit. I just got hit with a laser in my eye. But I don't care anymore. I mean, because they beating on me. And what I mean by beating on me, they doing this to me whether I speak or not. If I say something about what's going on, they gonna still do what they gotta do. If I don't say nothing about what's going on, they still gonna do the same thing to me. So either way I go, they doing what they so-called been assigned to do. But Lord, I ask you to protect me. Got hit right in my eyeball. Meanwhile, back to what I was saying, because they're not going to distract me off of this. Back to what I was saying, the black women in my family, some of the members in my family, I have seen where we had pretty glory on top of our heads, and all of our sideburns are leaving. The top of our hair is leaving. I'm even looking at my mother's. My mother's hairs are thinning. That's not, listen, aging is normal. But when you go from one day you got a whole head of hair and the next day you ain't got nothing and there's no hair around to prove what's happening to your hair. Something is wrong with that. And everybody's water, I got some that's complaining about their water. So that's why I'm saying they will do these things to make you hate your home, to make you hate your body, your everything. When I tell you that to do something on a scale this big, somebody with big money has to be involved. To run this sonic equipment like that, somebody with big money has to be involved. And me, myself, I'm just sitting back like, you know what? This is a doggone shame because black women are beautiful. And here we are looking in the mirror. I look at certain ones and I say, oh my God, I see how horrible it's been for you just by looking at your face. I can look and see it. I don't have to sit and pretend anything. I can look and see the face of my family members and say, oh my God, I'm not the only one going through this. All of us have dingy gray skin, which means dehydration, which could mean that, we're vitamin deficiency. And no matter what vitamins we take, we're going to be there because you're going to be there. If you getting radiation treatment and you don't even have cancer, what you think they're going to do to you? And that's what these microwave weapons do. These microwave weapons, they put out radiation. And this radiation is dehydrating us. It's cooking us from the inside out. This is, I hate to say it, but this is really like a slow type of killing thing. That's what it really is. And I rebuke that in Jesus' name. Because we shall live. My family shall live. And our hair shall get back to what God wants it to be. Because I'm telling y'all, before 2021, no, I'm going to say, with some of them, it started in 2020. I wasn't the first one to go through this. I'm probably just the only one that spoke up and said something about it. But I was not the first one to go through this. The first person I saw go through this, they had a pretty head of hair on them. Pretty, beautiful. And then they got where they just weren't satisfied with their hair. No matter what they did, they couldn't get satisfied with their hair. So they kept messing with it. And then it just started leaving them. It started leaving them. And you could see like it was just stripped. That's the best way I could say is that the hair was stripped. It was not like what it was supposed to be. We are being induced and forced to not like ourselves. I look at my pictures and I know a year makes a difference in your facial features. I don't care who you are. Each year is going to make a difference in how you look. But for me to jump from looking my regular age and then all of a sudden I went from being so happy, y'all. I was so happy. In 2020, 2021, I was so happy. And then next thing I know, these people start coming around here. And the end of 2021, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sicker. I'm getting sick. I'm losing I can't walk. I'm losing balance. I'm having vertigo 24/7. It seemed like everything I was doing, my ears were hurting. And then the doctor was not making it any better, because the doctor was like, can your kids live without you? And the doctor was like, let me see your feet. The doctor was examining me as if I was a corpse. That's the way he was examining me. And then he made this comment. I never forget. He said, I've got to up your cholesterol medication. Not because your cholesterol is high or out of control, but because this will help you fight against cancer. This will help fight against cancer. And I was like, what? What cancer? Y'all, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold the thought. I'm coming, y'all. Y'all, that smells like it smells like my chicken is burning. Let me turn this on. Maybe it's the mustard on it. I had to check the oven, make sure wasn't nothing burning. Okay, so y'all, let me see what I'm gonna do here. I really hate when I can't breathe right. Let me see. So if y'all don't mind, can I play y'all a couple of songs while I find what I'm looking for? Okay? I just want to play y'all a couple of songs while I get what I'm looking for. Let me see. Whenever I start looking for it. My goodness. I'm just trying to look for something right now. 12:42. That's not it. Y'all bear with me. I don't want to put the music on until actually I find what I'm looking for, and I gotta set it to a certain position. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all hear some songs right quick, and then I'm gonna come back. I love this song right here. It's called "Tell Jesus" by the Mickens, and what you need to do is go out and download it. Get your copy. Go buy your copy of it now. The Mickens, "Tell Jesus."
Everybody, kind of clap your hands. Yeah. My. I must tell Jesus about it. I must tell him all of my troubles. I know I can't bear these burdens alone. I must tell Jesus about it. Oh Lord. I must tell Jesus about it. I must tell him all of my troubles. I know I can't bear these burdens alone. I must tell Jesus about it. What about you? Good God, if you don't mind, let me say I must tell Jesus about it. I must tell him all of my trouble. I know I can't bear these burdens alone. Oh, I must tell Jesus about it. I must tell Jesus about it. I know I can't bear burdens alone. Oh no. If you don't mind, I want to take time out and just talk to you. Listen here, my Savior, my Lord, I want to talk to you. Everlasting Father, I come to you right now, just as meek as I know how. I want to talk to you. There's a few things that's vexing me. I want to talk to you. You told me that you and I can have a conversation whenever I need you. Well, listen here, we got people killing people for no reason at all. Little children vanishing everywhere. Lord have mercy. Lord, you told me if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face, and then turn from their wicked ways. Oh, I know you would hear us when we call. Reason why we call on your name, you can catch us. I wanna talk to you. Make no difference what the world said. I gotta talk to you.
The call to do what is right. Lord, hear my voice and my prayer. Oh Lord, strengthen my heart, because I want to be like you, and I need to be like you. Just let me be. Let me be more like you. Oh Lord, how excellent is your name in all of the earth. For you are a righteous God, and your love forever the same. Because I want to be like you, and I need to be like you. Just let me be. Just let let me be more like you. Wanna be more like you. Every day and every way, Lord. All I wanna do is be like you, Lord.
Oh Lord, I wanna be more like you.
More like you, Lord. You, Lord. Every day, just like you, Lord. Yeah, like you. Give like you, talk like you, Lord. Yeah, wanna be more like you. Yeah.
Oh Lord, I wanna be more like you.
More like you, Lord. You, Lord. You, Lord. You, Lord. Wanna be more like you, Lord. You, just like you, Lord. Yeah.
Oh Lord, I wanna be more like you.
Wanna be more. Wanna be more like you, Lord.
Okay, y'all, so let me tell y'all something. I'm still currently looking for what I'm looking for. So what I might do is I might just have to come back. Okay, so I'm still looking for it, y'all. If y'all don't mind, let me play one more song for y'all. Okay, one more.
Create in me a clean heart, renew the right spirit in me. Keep me in the care of your presence, restore your joy in me. Restore your joy in me. For when anxiety was great within me, when anxiety was great within me, when anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. Whenever a trial comes my way, it puts me under a strain. But somehow you make a way. You give me balm for my pain. When anxiety was great within me, when anxiety was great. Joy.
still haven't found it, y'all. What I was looking for. But you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. But just to get back on topic, what I was talking about was black women's hair. And why we don't like our hair is because we have been conditioned not to like what we have. And for some reason, a lot of black women think that the longer your hair is, the more superior you are. And like, I will go around some black women, say they got positions in the hospital. Yeah, they may be nurses and spend a lot of time in college, you know, getting their craft together. But they'll look at me, they'll look down on poor little me if I'm, you know, out of shape or whatever and got health conditions. They look down on me. And these black women, some of them will, the first thing they do is start flaunting their hair, and you give them some nails and you can't tell them nothing. And I'm not saying you're not supposed to feel good about yourself, but what I am saying is while you are conditioning yourself to look good, you really got to look at your body and your mind and say, well, why do I feel like this in the first place? If you're wearing a wig and you got your mind and your health together, that's one thing. But when you are wearing hair to make yourself feel better and wearing nails to make yourself feel better, not just to enhance your look, but to be your look, there's a big problem there. And that's the way we were trained to be. We were conditioned for this moment right here to spend all our money trying to impress people who want to see us not even living. And that's a real thing. Trying to impress somebody who don't even really care nothing about you. Nothing at all. And so when I see people trying to climb the ladder and get up there the wrong way, I already know they fixing to fall. And it's fixing to be a hard fall. And I ain't trying to sound like I'm jealous of anybody or against anybody getting to those levels that they have reached and those goals that they have said they wanted to achieve. I'm not against any of that at all. But what I am saying is we need to look more at black women and see what's going on with them, because me, myself, I know I got women in my family. I'm looking at them and I'm like, you nothing like you was a year ago. Y'all think I'm out of it, but you should see them. They're nothing like they were a year ago either. The only difference is I'm just more of a social media and I'm out here. But if you go back to some posts prior to before I started talking about things like this was going on with me, I wasn't the first one. It was people in my family saying it first. And, I was like, you know what? I'm just not even going to pay that no attention. And I started, and they would post so much about it. So I just started, I was like, I can't deal with that. That's a lot. That's heavy stuff that they're talking about. Now, did I believe them when they told me? I'm going to be honest. I didn't believe them. I thought it was drugs. I thought it was alcohol, to be honest. When they first told me that they were going through things like that, that was the first thing I say, oh, you need to leave them drugs alone, or that's alcohol, or they got to be high to be talking like that. But then I realized that they were talking like that because people were doing things to them that they didn't have no control over. That's why they were talking like that. That's why they were feeling insecure and, kept doing things to make their hair look different and, trying to fit in. Because the more you try to fit in with these devils out here, the harder it's going to be on you. It's better to go ahead and take a fall and lose people who you thought never would do you wrong than to sit up there and keep trying to be a part of their lives. And they clearly saying, I don't like you. We didn't heard this about you and that about you. We don't want you part of our clique. And when they do book you and go places or like you do things with them, they make sure that you get the short end of the stick. I mean, it's just very sad because a majority of the black women that I go to church with, I'm not talking about my home church or anything like that, but I'm talking about black women, period. These black women have put themselves so far up on a pedestal, they didn't even see they fail. And I'm not even talking about, I think about women who have been through a lot. Women who never dealt with grief. Women who never dealt with low self-esteem, just automatically thought if they dressed it up that it would get better. No, it didn't. because it shows even more to someone who has done that themselves before. You know, it's easy to recognize women who are going through things now because a lot of them dress up. As good as they look, their mind ain't all the way there. But anyways, we're going to have to talk about this on another day, because I wasn't trying to take it there like this, but it is a real serious issue when someone comes and cuts your hair without your permission, and you know, there's really no real help for you except for God. I do believe that God is going to handle those hands that put hands on me. And that's where I stay strong at. Now, when I seen somebody else telling me this, because y'all, if I really wanted to, I would go back and find those posters where 2-3 years ago people were posting that this was happening to them. And I didn't think that it could happen to me. I didn't think somebody would be out to try to drive me crazy or drive me outside of my house. I didn't think that. Because I couldn't think of nobody I had offended except for the ones who I kept telling to stay away from here, stay off the property. You know, those dealers. I don't even know if they were dealers. I think they were just smokers, really. I offended the smokers, probably. You know, those that were doing drugs at the time. Because I kept getting on them about, you know, this is private property. I don't know. I don't know where any of this is coming from. All I know is it is retaliation, and it is gentrification, and it is racism, because I saw the person standing in here with a Klan hoodie on. It is hate crimes. It's all that. This is like a maximum dose of that. It's torture, and it's hard to stop talking about, because sometimes talking is the only thing that keeps me in the moment to say, girl, listen, have this moment now so you can have tomorrow. So sometimes when I start talking about it, I mean, I know it might seem like it come off in thin blue, but it don't. It really hurt my feelings. I walked in here and I didn't have a ponytail. My hair was gone. So I don't think I couldn't really react the way I want to react when my granddaughter told me, because I got to think these are young girls, and I had to be careful what I do, because I got so upset. I got upset today, and I went to another level I didn't want to go to, but I did. And thank God nothing happened, you know. But it upset me. I didn't even know that it was gone. I didn't know it was gone. The back of my hair is gone. The back of my hair is now like it was when I cut it short. Y'all remember when I cut my hair short in, let's see, it wasn't 2022. Yeah, it was. In 2022, I cut my hair short. And I went real short. Y'all know all that long hair I had last year? A few months ago? That long hair I had a few months ago hanging down my back is gone. And each day they came in and took hair. To this day, they still taking hair. And now I'm down to one side of hair length. Everything else is cut. Now, if I go to the sheriff department and I say, look what somebody did to me, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Because even with my cameras here, I can't prove it. But my thing is this. Why we can believe that this is what happened to slaves and black people in the early 1900s, but we can't believe that this same type of hate crime is going on right now. That's my thing. Have black people been conditioned to the point where they saying racism don't even exist themselves? Because a lot of black people jumping on the boat with these people who are claiming to be, you know, saying, well, it's schizophrenia or it's a delusion. You got to be delusional for somebody to come in your house and do this. No, you don't. All you got to do is have an enemy. You do not have to be delusional for somebody to want to run you out of town. You don't have to be delusional for somebody to want to buy your property and you don't want to sell, so they get mad about things and want to run you out of town. You don't have to be delusional to speak up for poor people, 90-year-old, and say that I want this woman to have a home on her property that she can afford. Not a big home that she can't afford, but a home that she can pay off, that she can make payments on, or however the plan was supposed to work. There's nothing delusional about when townspeople get mad because you say, well, then we need to change the laws. If this law is not fitting the citizens that really need their property to live on, then we need to change the law. So people got mad at me because I said that. Because they don't want residential here. They want it zoned for businesses. Dog, we so far out. We got 2 more minutes to talk. They want it zoned for businesses, but is that delusional for me to say that, hey, what if they said, well, we got to run her out of town because if she starts messing with this, it's going to mess with our money we got coming in. And if you start messing with our money, then we ain't going to get investors in here. We're not going to get any big stores, or we're not going to be able to bring the highways through here and make the money. You know, you can't say that it's impossible that this stuff is not really happening. It happened to my ancestors. It happened to the people down the road. It happened to the people in South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. All over this country, this type of harassment is happening to black people. But because so many of us are out here patronizing these stores that are racist. They are racist. We building them up. We building the enemy up. And the black people that do get their little own small companies, their small business companies, you do other black people so dirty we can't even buy from you. Lord, have mercy. When we try to buy from our own, it's disgusting. It runs us to another nationality because we get what we want there. Versus when we try to get something here and then next thing you know, they're going to holler, well, we can't do discounts and it's not about the discounts, y'all. Don't get me wrong. It's not about getting discounts, but we want quality. We want quantity, and we ain't going to be able to get that. Let's just be real. Not everybody is going to give us that because the black person who does get into business is not thinking like they are black. Their business is black, but they're thinking like they are Caucasian in a different way. They're thinking like the way they have seen life through it them. And that's not working for the ones who got to consume. That's not working for the consumers. But y'all, I gotta go because my hour is up. And anyways, I enjoyed talking to y'all. And I don't know, I might come on later on, and I might not. It just depends, y'all, because I feel like singing a little bit. No, I don't. My throat's sore. I don't know. It just depends. I mean, I may come back on and talk a little more about it. Let me see. I'm gonna tell y'all if I am. Okay, I got 20 more minutes. I'll let y'all know. Just, if you subscribe or follow, you will get a notification when I come back on. That's the best thing I can tell you, is subscribe or follow.